Welcome back to Football Pundits, guys. Today we talk about Sheffield United versus Manchester United, and this is a big one. Before I get into that, today we have with us a very special guest. His name is Mamta. Why Mamta?
Hey,
Why Mamta? Because back in the day during college, his love for Nemanja Matic could only be compared to a mother's love for a child.
Vidic. It was
If he
Vidic,
could,
not Matic.
oh yeah, damn it,
Go
Vidic,
on, go on.
I
Vidic.
made,
Continue,
I messed.
continue.
Getting right into it, guys. Manchester United versus Sheffield United. Let's have a quick look at how these teams are going to line up. Before we go into the technicalities, I'll throw it off to our guest, Mr. Mamta, to just take us through his views on United.
Yeah, so I've been hearing a lot of United fans, praising and being really ecstatic about some of our players. But personally, I mean, I'm just so disillusioned by some of our players who we bought recently. For example, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, he started the season off beautifully, but he's just so one-dimensional. I mean, the guy's almost scared of getting the ball. Like, he makes no forward passes. He struggles to move forward with the ball. I looked up one stat. This is my little tidbit for the session. So he's made 27 appearances and he's put in only 11 accurate crosses. If you compare that to Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's made 30 appearances and put in 70 accurate crosses. Like, this just talks about how one-dimensional Aaron Wan-Bissaka is. He's great with one-on-ones. He's got spider-like legs. But, man, he just limits our game to such a large extent. And the odd thing is, right in front of him, we keep overplaying. At least I think we keep overplaying Dan James. And Dan James had like a flying start to his career at United. Really colorful, superb, scored 3 goals very early on. I mean, but since then, he's just got pace. Like, he's got tons and tons of pace, but there's just no final ball. There's just no quality right at the end. So, I mean, I think something's got to change there seriously. I think we've got to start playing Greenwood a lot more. Like I say, he's not really a diamond in the rough anymore. He's just a diamond. I mean, he just has to start playing. He's 18 years old. We need to blood him for a season. 9 games is perfect. Let him have a run in so he can get in next season. And I mean, finally, this whole hate about Pogba on and on and on and on. I mean, face it, he is the best player in our team. He is incredible. I mean, he came on for like 25 for about 25 minutes in the last game after not having played for so long, and he was just incredible. Jesus, his passing was just out of control. So, I mean, I don't know what you all think, but I mean, I think that a lot of us need to sort of tone down the Pogba hate, realize how one-dimensional some players are, and sort of, start, hitting reality a bit.
Completely agree, Gaurav. Very, very good analysis of what I believe United really are at. I think it's a wake-up call as well to a lot of United fans. While we've been good in a few games leading up to the break, I think, yes, at right back, we have a fantastic defender. But in a very interesting way, Valia, we've always struggled for a defensive right back. Antonio Valencia and Rafael were not the best defenders. They were great at going forward.
Yeah.
I think in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we have someone who's a fantastic defender. And hopefully we fix right midfield, either Mason Greenwood or, there's talk of Jadon Sancho coming in. But speaking about Sheffield United, I couldn't agree more. I think Paul Pogba is the most important Manchester United player right now. May not be the best. I think Bruno Fernandes on form right now probably just pips him ahead. But I think he's the most important player because what he can add to our midfield fulcrum. If you watched that game against Tottenham last time, and I said this in the last video as well, he has the ability to take an entire zone out of the game with a single pass. That cross that he did to Rashford from our defensive half to the final third. If you watch the highlights again, he took 6 Tottenham players out of the game by the time Rashford collected the ball. So I agree with you on that. Having said that, I think I would really be excited to see Bruno and Pogba start this game against Sheffield. It's a 3 points that we must collect. And Kern will tell us why Sheffield are struggling in the league right now, especially given their last 2 results.
Sheffield, before coming to the break, flying high, great on confidence, they themselves, forget anyone else, they themselves probably never expected to be where they are, even now. And I think the break really sort of did it bad for them because it put, They wanted to keep that momentum going, wanted to keep that team spirit going, but now suddenly 2 games back, uh, Villa, and Newcastle, games that they would have wanted ideally 4 points from at least, they've got only two. They've got only 1 point from. A bad defeat against Newcastle, coming up against United now without Henderson, without Egan who took 2 silly yellows, without O'Connell who's injured. Um, and suddenly, mentally, the players are wondering, hey, can we really do this? Can we actually see these last 7, 8 games out? And they still have the likes of Chelsea, Wolves, Leicester. They still have to face all these teams. And then uh, Chris Wilder, in fact, in his last interview, was frustrated. He's like, I'm tired of all these talks of people constantly saying Europe, 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 Europe. So he's realizing the pressure that's getting to the players, and he's wanting to take some of that off as well. But just looking at today's matchup purely, I think the players are going to come with this, yes, Boyd with a 3-3 from their last result. So they have some confidence from there, maybe. Um, but in general, I think they're going to be a little iffy because of the injuries, because of missing Henderson, because of the results. And I think it's prime for United to take this one today just because of all of that.
And I think since you mentioned and covered Sheffield United very well, and Abhishek and Gaurav mentioned a key element of Pogba and Bruno, I think let's cover our players that we think will impact this game from both sides. I think for Manchester United, we've covered, Pogba, that they spoke about so passionately, and they were salivating all over and all teary and love-eyed and like hearts and all. But I think really Marcus Rashford is someone to look out for in this game because they really want him to shed all the rust, right? I think it's better for us if he sheds the rust in this game than wait for the FA Cup over the weekend. We need Rashford firing again because we saw him getting 2 good chances in the game versus Spurs. Ideally, he would have buried those before he got out injured, right? Apart from our midfield, also our defense will be important. We did concede 3 goals back in November when we played them. After that, we've gone into a good run. But as you can see, there are small errors. We're prone to errors, and that is a concern. And Sheffield, with the likes of McBurney and Muset, who probably might come on later in the second half, Muset, they have pace at them. They have enough in them to cause trouble, and they have done it before in the past. So we need to look out for the counter attack, especially. Looking at the sides as they are, United should go ahead with Pogba, Bruno to start in this game, according to me. And they should have Matic in the back just to cover. I think Matic, again, the midfield battle is very, very important for United. We need to shut down the game right there so that our attacking midfielders that they spoke so passionately about can do their thing. If they don't have cover, how do they go do their thing? Pogba's again tracking back. They say he's not defending well, which is my problem with him. But you can't expect him to have to defend the whole time and keep shooting in those balls like he does. It's too much from one player to expect.
One player you didn't touch upon, which I'm going to very quickly mention. It's a huge game for him for 2 reasons. One, he is the reserve goalkeeper for Sheffield, Michael Verrips, and he's going to be making a very, very big game for himself at Old Trafford in the absence of Dean Henderson. I'll be looking out for him because it could so easily go awry. United could easily put 5 past him and it could be a career-destroying game. Or this could be the game that makes him. If Sheffield would have...
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it could. Honestly, though, I see Sheffield in the form they are in. I see losing a number 1 keeper.
Yeah.
And if Manchester United don't come out as Manchester United and say we are going to get this game or grab it from the scruff of its neck and put Sheffield down, I would be embarrassed because Manchester United has the easiest run in from here.
Yeah.
And if we lose, we should not have the top 4 ambition. We should really look at within because our squad is fit. And I think since we've covered all of that, we should move on to our predictions. I think.
And I was just wondering.
Yeah.
And you're just wondering, you were talking about them having pace and playing Matic as the holding midfielder. I mean, given that they have quite a bit of pace and the midfield battle is going to be important, just putting those two together. Wouldn't you prefer Scott McTominay in Matic's role instead? I mean, I'm just wondering, given that he just has legs that can last much longer, and while Matic probably has that, enigmatic pass in him once in a while, maybe that's covered with Pogba and Bruno.
Yep.
So what I'm suggesting with this, Gaurav, that we start with Matic in our side, and the way we've seen is there are 5 substitutes, right? I would bring on McTominay in the second half. I would start off with a strong I want them to get at it from the start. I want Pogba and Bruno to just be ahead, right? And Matic is very good when he's just in the back, holding on, just soaking in the pressure and letting them go on. McTominay can do that, but you've seen McTominay sometimes not doing that, especially in the last game, right? I would then
Got
rather,
it.
if not Matic, I would then rather still give Fred a start but get
Right.
McTominay in the second half. I would, because you can keep them fresh, right? And you also have FA Cup coming on Saturday. We have to rotate it up either way. So,
Got
Gaurav,
it.
you
Got
give
it.
us your. I agree. I kind of agree with what you're saying, but this is just my bit on it. We can do
Yeah.
both. Why not both? Let's
And
tactically be on top of this. So, give us a prediction, Gaurav. What do you think then?
I think 3-0 to United.
Straight up.
I'm
Yeah.
going for a KG 2-0 to United. Sheffield's going to block and we're going to have another boring 2-0.
I'm also sensing a goal rush. I'm going to go for 3-0 as well. And just to bring that up, I think McTominay signed a new contract. So great news for United fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Uplifting news for the whole squad, honestly. Something they need. And I'll probably go with a 3-1, only because I see we might just concede. Maybe a leaky goal here and there.
So, interesting predictions all around. I think everyone's going for an easy win. It'll be interesting to see who starts in midfield. Will Drogba finally happen? And if they do, who's going to be with them? Matic or McTominay or Fred? It's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. Can Sheffield hold their own this time around? It was 3-3 at Bramall Lane. Old Trafford's going to be a completely different story. But we'd love to know what you guys think. Let us know what you think of our predictions. Let us know what you think of our videos. Please hit subscribe. Please like. Please comment. And please follow us on Twitter. You can bring the banter there. All the details are in our description box. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for joining us today. And
Mamta.
we do
Let us
hope,
know what you think of Gaurav's analysis of
Mamta.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well. One final time, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not as great as he's being made out to. So let us know what you think of that as well. And thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
See you guys.